Hello, Centerville STEAM students, or as I'm going to refer to my students, T students. That's the TEA in STEAM, standing for Technology, Engineering, and Art. In case you don't know this, I teach multiple classes at Centerville, including woodworking, as well as design and modeling and art. So this program is for all of my students, and we'll all be learning different things, or the different students will be learning different things, but most of you will be learning the same stuff, um, which falls under the category of engineering, and it could very well be considered art. It's certainly technology. It's kind of a combination of all of that. Um, for those of you who are not my students, who are just out there in the YouTube world watching this video, feel free to watch my videos, subscribe to my channel, and watch for videos that show up, and participate if you'd like. But most of the information here is for my students. So when I ask students to sign up for my Google Classroom, that was not an open invitation to everybody in the world. It's only an invitation to those students who are my students at school. I suppose it could also include any other students at my school that want to join in on this, but they need to be Centerville Junior High School students in Fremont, California. Um, anyone else out there that wants to ask a question or give me a response of some kind can comment on the videos in YouTube, and I will try to every once in a while keep an eye out for that and respond appropriately. But for most people, this should be just recognize that this is primarily for my students. All right, so first off, I need my students to join me in this. This is Google Classroom. If you go to your Google Drive, or go to your Google, I'm not sure what this thing, the waffle, and look for it, you'll find Google Classroom. And inside Google Classroom, you should be able to sign up for my class. It's going to be called Centerville Tea. The class code is right there on the screen. So Centerville Junior High School students in Fremont who are watching this program or this video should pause the video and then go into Google Classroom and sign up for this class. And I will be verifying that everybody has signed up for this class, as I believe everybody should be able to do this. If you are unable to do this because you don't have access to a computer and you're not even able to do this aspect or this level of computer work, then you'll need to email me on Schooloop and let me know that is the situation. But if for those of you who have access to the internet, you should be able to go into Google Classroom and sign up for Centerville Tea, which is the class that I'm going to be teaching here, and use that code to sign up for my class. I assume I'm going to be able to deny people access if I don't know you, or if you're not a Centerville student, then I'm going to need to remove you. Just please don't sign up for my class unless you are one of my students. Okay, so once you sign up for this class, you should end up with access, unless I'm mistaken, to this link right here. And this link will allow you to click on this link, and this will bring you to this website right here, which is actually by the company Trimble that owns SketchUp. So this is what I would consider to be a trusted site. You can go to this site and you can use that to download SketchUp Make 2017, which I'm going to put at the top of the screen in case my face is in your way there. SketchUp Make 2017. Notice that there's a Windows version and a Mac version right here. Now the demonstrations I'm going to be giving in the future will be based on the Windows version. I believe there may be some subtle differences between the Windows version and the Mac version. So if that's the case, you're going to need to work that out. Feel free to let me know what issues you're having, and I can see whether there's anything I can do to help you with that. But the first step you're going to be doing after joining this this Google Classroom is to download the executable file here, and then use that executable file to put Google SketchUp on your desktop. It should be SketchUp 2017. Now, in the future, you might get notifications from SketchUp saying, hey, we have a newer version of this. Do you want to try the newer version? Don't do that, because they're going to be trying to get you to do SketchUp Pro, or they're going to want you to do something called SketchUp for Classrooms, which is an online version of this program, which will put all the buttons in different places on your screen and make it different, so that when you're trying to follow along with me on these videos, the screens will look different. Just stick with what you see here. SketchUp Make 2017. Okay. Now, the first time you download you download the executable file, which was on this other screen here, which is right there. That executable file, you download that and you run that. You're going to get this icon, and you click on it, and it's going to bring you to this page. It's going to require you to choose a template. It's not going to let you move forward until you have. I want you to choose woodworking inches, click on this, and then pause. At this moment, this is the first time I'm going to ask you to create something for me, and then you're going to send this to me to show me. This is going to be an assignment where you're going to turn in a photograph or an image of your screen, showing me that you have downloaded the program and that you've chosen woodworking inches and that you're prepared to get started. If you have this screen up on your computer, that pretty much tells me that you are prepared to be able to move on with this assignment and these lessons that I'm going to give on class. Now, how to take a screenshot of this on your computer. I like this thing down here. It's called Snipping Tool. If you don't have Snipping Tool on your desktop, which you probably don't, if you click on this little area here, or you search the computer and type in snipping, you're going to find that it pops up. You can right-click on that and pin it to the taskbar. Mine is already pinned to the taskbar. And then it'll be sitting right there on your taskbar. I'm going to click on this thing right now. I'm going to click New, and it's going to allow me to take a photograph of my desktop. That's basically an image. It's a PNG image is what it is, but it's an image of your desktop showing me that you have downloaded the program, it is the correct program, and that you've chose woodworking inches. And as you see here, I've chosen the wrong thing. I have woodworking millimeters instead of woodworking inches. So I'm going to close that. I'm not going to save that. I'm going to go here, and I'm going to do that correctly. And I'm going to choose woodworking inches. There you go. So this is the image you would be sending me. So if I were you, I would file, save as TEA class, and I'd save it on. I would personally save it onto the desktop. And that's what I want you to do today, is to go ahead and save that on the desktop. Now, if you're falling behind, the nice thing about YouTube is you can pause the video, go back, you can pause the video, do the work, and then play the video, and then pause the video and go back. In the end, at this point in the video, I'd like you to have already done all this work. So if you're one of my students, you should pause the video and get caught up to the point where you have this screenshot. Now, if you're working with a Mac, you should recognize that that snipping tool is not going to work. There are other ways. I'm sure you can look on the internet and find a way to take a screenshot of your desktop or part of your desktop, basically showing me that you were able to download this program and put it on your computer. You have to open the program at this point in order to close it. So this is what the program looks like. We're going to get to this later. I'm not actually going to work with SketchUp today. I'm just going to see whether or not, how many of you I can get this program onto a computer at home that you're going to be able to work with in the future. This is going to be really cool, by the way. You're going to enjoy this. And in the next video, I will show you lots of cool stuff. Although I'm sure you can go online, go onto YouTube and search YouTube videos about SketchUp, and you can start moving ahead if you want to. But you can also just relax and take your time and go with the class and do that if you'd like as well. Now, on a side note, those of you that have already learned how to use SketchUp and you've done all this stuff before, I will have a different assignment for you. But still, I'd like you to send me this image so that I can apply the grade to your grade as I've applied to everybody else. As we move forward, some of you are going to move away from the whole SketchUp thing because you're either not capable of doing this because of what you have at home in way of technology, or you have already done this before and I've given you some other assignment. But for the vast majority of you, I'm really hoping that this is the path we're going to move forward. We're going to start by using this program and doing some really cool things with this program, and that will be valuable education for all my students. I have students that have come back from high school and said, "Hey, Mr. Olson, I'm just really happy you showed me SketchUp because it's such a great program and I use it all the time." So now the question becomes, how are you going to submit this image? See that image right there? It's on my desktop. How are you going to give me that image? And how are you going to submit things to me in the future? That answer lies once again back in Google. In that, let's go back to this new tab here and go back to the waffle here and go to Google Drive. Now on Google Drive, I want you to click on New, Folder, and title this thing Your Name. So that would be your first name and your last name, and then your class period. So period 1. Actually, let's do it differently. Your name, like first, just like that. If you're in my first period class, which I don't have a first period class, you're going to title it like Michael Johnson 1. Tells me that Michael Johnson is in my first period class. Okay, so you put your first name, your last name, and the class period that you have with me. Okay, I'm going to cancel this because I've already created one right there. Stephen Olson first period, which I did earlier in a different video that I have now deleted. But you get the idea. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and rename this, and I'm going to get rid of. There you go. That's what it should look like. Stephen Olson first period. Okay. So now that you have, that's weird. Okay, let's delete that one. Okay, now that you have a folder here that is in your Google Drive, you're going to right click on it and you're going to click share and you're going to type in SOLSON, which is me. There you go. And you're going to share that with me. Okay. Now, what that's going to do is it's going to make it so that I can see anything you put into that folder. So I'm going to be able to go in and look at John Smith's folder and see whether or not he has put something in that folder at that point. And something is due by a certain time, and I can go into his folder and see that it's there and take a look at it and then give it a grade. Okay, so I'm going to minimize this, and I'm going to take that TEA class and I'm going to drop it right into that folder. And as I've done that now, you'll see that I've got things in this folder. And if this was your folder and you had shared that folder with me on Google Drive, I would be able to go in and see, okay, I can click on that and go, okay, there it is. So they've got that thing. So regarding the Google Classroom, I don't think we're going to use this to a large extent as you might be using it in other classrooms. I'm still not 100% sure about how I want to proceed forward in terms of providing you information. At this point, I'm still intending to use loop mail. If that changes in the future, I might be using Google Classroom to a larger extent, which you will already be a member of, but you really shouldn't be looking on here and expecting me to be communicating with you on Google Classroom, nor should you be sending me messages on Google Classroom because I'm probably not going to get them. If you want to send me a message, you want to ask me a question, you need to do that through loop mail. Send me, because that's what I'm going to be checking every day. I'm going to be checking my loop mail, as you should be, every day to find different messages from you. Okay, so let's see. You guys have now, so that's my goal for you guys right now, is to get started. Is I want to know how many of you are going to be able to put SketchUp 2017 on your desktop, choose woodworking inches, and be prepared to move forward. It would also be very nice if you had a 3-wheel mouse, a mouse with a scroll wheel and the 2 buttons. That is definitely very helpful when it comes to working with SketchUp. It's not an absolute requirement, but it will definitely make your life easier. Now, it is possible that some of your computers may be old enough or lack the power there to be able to handle this program. And for those of you that are incapable of putting this program on your computer, I will be providing you with other work, different work. Those of you who brought home clay on Friday, I want you to hold on to that clay, leave it in the bag, don't open it, let it just stay, just let it go. Just let it sit for a little bit. If you have already been doing stuff with it, I would like you to put it back in the bag and let it sit, because there may be a time in the future where I ask you to work with that clay. Some of you who are unable to do this stuff, I might end up having to have you work with clay. But for right now, my goal is that most of my students will be proceeding forward with the SketchUp instruction that I'm going to be providing. We're going to move on from SketchUp at some point as well and move on to a program called Tinkercad and maybe some other programs. I'm not sure how long this shelter in place is going to last, so we're going to roll with this thing and see how far we get. Anyways, that's the end of my video. So in terms of the assignment, where I have sent you guys an email, or I'm going to send you an email as soon as I post this on Facebook, I'll send you all an email. Your response to that, I told there, if you look on School Loop, there's an assignment. It says respond to my email that I'm sending you today. Your response to that email should be one of two things. It should either be a reply to the email telling me that you are not able to download SketchUp and put it on your computer and choose woodworking inches. Thus, you are unable to create this screenshot. If you are unable to create this screenshot, you should send me a loop mail telling me what issues you had. If you are able to create that screenshot, then you should be putting that screenshot in your folder that you have shared with me on Google Drive. Okay? You may also be telling me in said loop mail that you send me, or reply to my loop mail, that you were unable to create a folder and share it with me on Google Drive. One way or the other, if you create a folder on Google Drive and you share it with me, and you put that folder in, or you put the image in that folder, then that should be sufficient in terms of having responded. That is your response. You put that screenshot in that folder, you have responded. Okay? If you have not put that screenshot in the folder, then you need to send me a loop mail explaining why you haven't done that. Okay? As soon as I get that response, I will update your grades and give you 10 points for that. The assignment is worth 10 points. And as soon as you see that you've received those 10 points, you will know that your response has come through, and that will tell you that you're good. You will have 24 hours from the time that I send you the email, the loop mail, to get this taken care of. Okay? And at that point, I will be sending you another email. I'll be sending you another video by Friday, or another loop mail by Friday, and I will have done more work by Friday. I will maybe contacting some of you separately. If you're a Wood 2 student, then I'm going to be doing something different with you. I'll be contacting you separately. If you're all the other students, whether you're an art student or a design and modeling student or a woodworking student, you're all going to be doing the same thing. The only students that are going to be doing things differently are students who are unable to do this work for technology reasons, or have already done this work in the past because you already know how to use SketchUp. You've been in my class long enough that this is a waste of your time, and I have other ideas of what we can do moving forward. Okay? It's the end of my first video. Thank you very much.